So, welcome to this episode of The Rumble. My guest today is somebody who's coming from Bombay. That itself is a rarity. We get more South Indians here. And he's a nutritionist. Okay, I'm not going to say anything more. We'll just ask him and find out exactly what he's up to and what is it that he's got to something unique to tell us. So, welcome to the show, Luke.
Hi, thank you.
Luke Coutinho. You're obviously not a Bombayite, are you?
No, not really. My parents are from Bombay, settled in Goa. So you could say I'm a little...
Oh, was it from Goa and came to Bombay?
No, they were actually Goa, but my dad's grandparents. It's a long story. Goa, Portuguese, all of that stuff.
Okay. So now you're settled in Bombay.
I spent equal time in the US and Bombay between both places.
Okay. So I know you're a nutritionist, and that's a vague word. I've seen books written by nutritionists, lots of advice, some very complex, some not so complex. And then you have written a book, which I happened to flip through. I mean, I actually read through the entire thing at one go. And I must say that it's the clearest I've understood about nutrition from your book.
Thank you.
It's great, well written. So tell me, how did you get into that?
So basically, I'm in a field called lifestyle medicine. It's also called integrative medicine. So what I believe that nutrition is just a piece of the puzzle.
Okay.
So I'm more into holistic health. So, I work with oncologists, I work with healers, yoga therapists, whatever it takes to fix the person, basically.
So your part in that entire puzzle, would you say that's a large part or was it a smaller part?
I think it's a large part where people are missing out on the element of nutrition, and most people are.
Yeah.
So then we need to go in and fix that. Sometimes it's pain medication, sometimes it's managing the side effects of a chemotherapy treatment or radiation. I specialize in fourth stage cancer now, even first stage and second.
So when you say specialize in that, I mean nutrition for people who have reached that level of...
Absolutely. Nutrition and lifestyle. For example, when you reach fourth stage, the doctors usually send a patient home and say, go home and enjoy your last few days.
As far as we know.
Exactly. But I don't like to believe it's terminal because we're not God to decide that.
Okay.
So when they come to me...
And besides, apart from that part, it is possible to reverse it at that point.
Oh, absolutely. There are several people out there who are willing to speak about this. You'll read stories on the internet. People, if you go to my Facebook page, you'll find survivor stories talking about how they've reversed a fourth stage cancer and they're still living as we speak right now. And there's no magic. And
they didn't have to change their entire lifestyle. It's some tips, or is it substantially different from what they were doing before?
It's very different because, while the whole world is figuring out weight loss and medicines and chemotherapies and radiation, I believe that the human body is designed to heal itself.
Okay.
And it has an intelligence of its own. That intelligence is called your immunity.
Yes.
So if you focus on immunity, you empower your own body to take care of pathogens, germs, bacteria, and even cancer cells.
And is it necessary for people to know all these fine words? I mean, these specific things that you're talking about, pathogens, or is it enough for them to just follow what you tell them?
I just want them to know one word, immunity, and that it is immunity that helps you prevent disease and helps you cure and heal.
That's the key word they should
immunity.
Keep in their mind.
That's the key word.
Develop that.
Absolutely. Keep investing. Like a mutual fund, it grows.
Okay.
Sometimes, depending on the markets. But over here, you keep investing in your immunity. It doesn't mean you won't fall sick.
So what are the ingredients in immunity?
So immunity, I revolve it around 4 spheres. Balanced nutrition,
okay,
physical activity,
yeah,
proper sleep. That's the right quality and quantity of sleep, and managing stress, which is one of the biggest
skills. We've been hearing so much about stress, and really, has anyone found a way to actually reduce stress?
People are finding ways. See, it's not about, I think a lot of people try to get rid of stress. You can't get rid of stress. We're always going to have
life.
It's part of life.
Yeah.
So what you look at is managing it effectively. Like if you're stressed for 6 hours in a day, can you make it 4 hours?
And that also, what exactly do you mean by stressed out? I mean, I've heard that somebody might just say, I got stressed out in the office today. So what is it? It's just pressure put on you on your job? In what way would you
I wouldn't
call it
always
stress?
blame the job because everyone reacts to a job differently. There are happy employees in a company and unhappy employees. So it's more of the person's attitude towards the job.
Okay.
So I can look at it very positively and it will not stress me out.
Would stress be, say, like somebody who doesn't want to go to office? I mean, the thought of going to office puts him off. Would that be because he would be under stress?
He could be under stress and he could be doing something that's not his passion. So you never feel like going to office when you're working at a job that you don't like.
Yeah, that's...
So then the biggest way to reduce the stress is follow your passion, don't work there.
Severe pressure on to complete something, and then those are stress making.
The world's moving faster. Everyone's got targets today, right? From doctors to you name it. Everyone's trying to finish things.
That's horrible to hear that even doctors have got targets.
Yeah, 2 minutes, 3 minutes with them. You don't get a proper diagnosis, you're written a prescription, 3 drugs, and you're out. So the doctors today, most of them don't even spend time diagnosing what the problem was. Let's go 10 years back where they would ask you about your lifestyle, what you ate, find the root cause problem, and that's the flaw in the system. We're treating without knowing the root cause, so we're just treating symptoms.
That's true. But we are going back into that kind of the old style of what should I say, medicine, where you check back into the roots and say, how did you get that? People are going back into it right now? Or is it again just
people are doctors? People are doctors.
I mean, doctors mostly.
Doctors, no. Unfortunately, the medical community is really moving the wrong way. I have nothing against doctors, but what is really important is you find a root cause, and then you can give whatever medicine you want, but know what the root cause is, so you can tell your patient, listen, guy, this is what caused the problem.
Yeah.
Go back and fix that. I'm giving you a medicine in the meantime to help you.
That's not rocket science. I mean, they've been telling this for years and years and years. How come they suddenly forgot the fundamentals?
No, that's a good question, because things are moving so quickly. You also blame people, not the doctors. People want a quick fix.
Or is it because they're not interacting with the patient and they're relying on machines?
Absolutely. There has to be a human relationship and touch. Technology is great, but it can never take over human connect.
That's true. And is it the lack of skills also happening?
No, I wouldn't say that. I mean, in all professions, you'll have people who are highly skilled and people who don't use their skills.
Okay.
I think it's information. And what I believe is a lot of the medical curriculum, in fact, a lot of curriculum worldwide is funded by the pharmaceuticals.
Yes.
So right from the things that doctors learn to the outcomes of research is all controlled by the person who funds it, which is pharmaceuticals. So they have control over the outcome of a drug which is tested. Let me give you a simple example. You may test a drug on a rat or a human for 30 days, and they find 30 days, there's nothing, it's a great drug, release it in the market. But there are a lot of people in the alternative field of medicine that dragged on this test for 60 and 90 days. And what came up post that was detrimental to health. I'm talking breast cancer, prostate, any cancer.
Okay.
So you see, the test is also controlled. The outcome of research is controlled.
Are they in a hurry to get their money, get the money back in for what they've invested in all that drug and drug marketing? So
that too, the turnover. It's a market at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Everyone is a number. Like I always say, there's no money in being dead. There's no money in being healthy. All the money is in being chronically ill.
Okay.
The longer you're sick, the more money it is for the pharmaceuticals. That's how it works.
And the personal touch, which used to be part of the doctor's skill, tools in his bag, was a good relationship, a good bedside manner, and all that stuff. Are all those still there? I mean, I'm talking like I live in a different planet. I do see doctors, but I don't see them as often as a lot of other people who are sick. So is bedside manner and all that for doctors very vital even today?
It's still there. See, I work with a lot of oncologists worldwide and doctors too. It is there. The human touch is there. But what we fail to see is the pressure that doctors have in hospitals. To get a great seat at a hospital or even a place in a hospital, they need to generate a certain amount of revenue. So use CT scans, use MRIs, which is why that's handed out like candy today.
Okay.
Doctors do have that stress over them to, generate a certain amount of revenue.
So they're prime targets for cancer too?
It's in every hospital. Hospitals in the US, hospitals in India, you need to generate, a certain amount of revenue.
Okay. So doctors are as prone to this?
Absolutely.
Yeah, folks, you just heard it from the guy who's a nutritionist. Says doctors are as prone to stress as anyone else. So they better work harder so that they make us, I suppose, better. But there's more to it than what we've talked so far. We'll come back to it after the break. We'll talk to you then. Let me jump into the one that's scaring the shit out of everybody in the world. Cancer. Nobody knows what it's all about. There's so many letters and mailers. The internet is full of advice on do this, do that, eat this medicine, eat that. What is the present state of research, if you want to call it that, into your kind of treatment? I mean, not just drugs.
Right.
Where are we in non-traditional ways of handling?
So I think the whole alternative approach towards cancer has come up in a big way now because, chemo and radiation doesn't seem to be doing what it promises.
But is that true, that it doesn't handle it as well? Yeah,
it doesn't handle... People rarely get cured with these things, and if they do, they're in remission for a while and then they come back with a cancer that's metastatic.
What's the purpose of doing that then in that case, if it's not...
It's a conventional treatment. So chemo, you're basically flooding the body with toxins in the hope that it targets a stem cell and it kills the cancer. And in many cases, it is effective. It works that way.
Okay.
Sometimes if that doesn't work, then the doctors do radiation, which is simply trying to burn the regions of cancerous cells. Or the surgery where you cut off a part of the body which is cancerous.
Okay.
So these are the three conventional medications, and then there's of course hormonal treatments and nuclear isotope treatments. It's really advanced.
Okay.
But the thing is, like I said, I don't have a problem with these treatments.
Okay.
I have a problem if these treatments are done without the person making changes in their lifestyle and nutrition.
So would the changes be necessary to be done before they go in for anything else, or you can do it simultaneously?
Before, during, and after.
So it's a lifetime change.
Absolutely. When you're putting toxins in your body, you have to make sure that you're also detoxifying yourself.
Okay.
So the more you help your liver, your kidney, your skin, your colon, detoxify of all the toxins that chemo is bringing in, the better chance for chemo even working. And for you, reducing
Not to
the
get
collateral
affected by
damage.
what
the side effects of the treatment.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So the treatment is supposed to do whatever it's supposed to, but the side effects are equally deadly?
Oh yeah, I would say like most people never die of the cancer. They die of the side effects of the treatment. Like, you'll never... If you really ask a person who's lost someone to cancer and you get down into it, you'll find that their liver failed, their kidney failed, they had a brain stroke, they had a cardiac
I guess at
arrest.
some point you need something to kill you. So just a cell in your body, it has to make something not work. Like your kidney packs up, your heart stops. I don't know whether ever that happens.
Absolutely. But I think, when doctors take an oath, it's to prevent suffering of people.
Yes.
And I feel chemo increases that if it's not managed the same way. Now, if we bring strong nutrition and lifestyle with someone going through conventional treatments, you can actually prolong life with the help of chemo and radiation and reduce suffering and pain. But when it's only chemo and radiation and that person doesn't make lifestyle changes, they suffer miserably. So it's okay if your liver's failing, but not at the cost of suffering. I think
the liver failing is like routine liver failing. Anybody's liver can fail. It need not necessarily be because you had some kind of cancer in the liver. A liver could have developed all sorts of problems, isn't it? Even before.
Yeah, even it's not necessary that the treatment for cancer.
Cirrhosis is something that happens to the liver.
Alcohol, fatty livers.
Yeah.
People's lifestyle can also cause organ failure. It's not only medication.
Yeah, and it's not only cancers that will cause those things to happen.
Oh yeah, anything like
Damaged.
diabetes, cholesterol, anything can cause organ failure. If it's
So
not
why
handled the right
is
way.
cancer so dreaded? If all of them are out there causing things to fail, why are we picking on cancer by saying cancer is the cause, cancer is the cause? It's there.
So I believe it's the way that even media has contributed. Everyone
I have a
hears the
feeling
C
that's
word,
true. The
and
C word,
they
yes.
think it's a death sentence. That if you have cancer,
Yes.
you can't. And when you hear something like you have 6 weeks left to live, guess what? I mean, you lose hope, you die. It's a mind-body connection.
Okay.
If someone tells you that you're going to fail your exam, in most cases, you believe you'll
You're
fail.
ready
You will
to
fail.
go down that path. Yeah.
Exactly. So with cancer, I think there has to be more awareness that it is the symptom of a sick body.
Yes.
And
So
when you
cancer
start-
is not a sickness by itself.
No, it isn't.
It is
It's
something.
your body trying to tell you your immune system is not working well. So now start working on the immune system and let the immune system take over with the help of whatever it is, chemo, radiation, alternative, whatever you may choose. I'm not advocating one way. Like I said, it's integrative.
Yeah.
Sometimes it may not even be nutrition. All you need is emotional healing, release, resentment and unforgiveness
Stress,
and
as you
stress,
said.
and the body starts healing. So sometimes nutrition doesn't even play a role in it. That's why it's integrative.
So who's going to make that final assessment as to what we need to do?
The person who diagnoses it the best. The
So
person
is
who's
it the
willing to
cancer
spend
specialist?
time.
Is it the cancer specialist, so to say?
I don't think they're doing that today.
No, they're not.
So it could be a nutritionist, it could be a yoga therapist, it could be a healer, it could be a normal general physician. Your family doctor who will say that, listen, something's wrong with your system, your immunity is out of whack, you need to start looking at your food or your physical activity and, all of those things. Because I believe the body gives you indicators of what's going wrong. But we're moving so fast that we miss those indicators.
True.
All the time, if you're aging, if you're suddenly putting on weight, immediately we look at food or we look at something else. But I would look at hormones, I would look at thyroid, I would look at, something internal. Like, is that the reason why you're putting on
But that's
weight?
because you are a trained person. An average person, would he be trained to look at things that way?
Yeah, if someone's taking accountability for their life, they look into it. But if someone's taking their life and putting their health in the hands of a nutritionist or a doctor and saying, fix me.
Okay.
You're just passing on responsibility to someone else. And that's what's happening in the cancer world. You get a cancer and then a lot of people have money. They fly the patients to the US and they'll dump them in a hospital and say,
Take care of him.
take care of him, without ever trying to find out the root cause, making those little lifestyle changes. Something as little as less water in your body, drinking less water. it can be a cause of cancer because we're 75 to 80% water. If we deprive ourselves of water, guess what? Immunity falls. If immunity falls, you can have anything.
You're open to all these things.
Open to anything, cancer, to any other disease, any virus, any bacteria.
So I'm also convinced that it is the press and the media that's building it up beyond belief.
Absolutely.
I mean, there are reams and reams and reams being written about this, and nobody out there.
Absolutely. You would think in a world as advanced as today, what's going to happen is we should have found a solution by now.
Yeah.
But no one's searching for a solution. The New York Times recently published an article where they said the goal of the pharmaceuticals is not to find a cure. They're finding ways to treat a symptom. So if they're only finding ways to treat a symptom, there will always be disease.
Shit, that's scary as hell listening to this. So when you come back after this break, we'll find out what is his suggestion that we should do. I mean, drug companies have their own angle, but what is his suggestion that everybody should adopt? Standard, whether you're suffering from anything or not. What is the way we should, sort of live our lives? We'll just do that. So I read your book. I mean, not the entire thing, or as much as I could in the short time I had it with me. I didn't see anything revolutionary, which makes me more convinced that your ideas are correct, because you're not coming out with some stunning new thing like eat lava or some bizarre suggestion. You're using ordinary day-to-day stuff which every household has in their kitchens, and which all the wives and mothers have been accessing. So tell us something about the diet part of it.
Right. So when I wrote The Great Indian Diet with Shilpa, we understood it on a flight back from New York, in fact. 98% of my clients, even in America, they're on Indian diets today. There is so much of medicine in our local staple foods and spices. But the problem is then you would say, why has India become so unhealthy? Because we moved away from our staples.
They talk about us as being the cancer capital of the world.
Exactly. And it is. It's become an epidemic. So people have moved to other diets which don't have our spices and, our staple foods. So through the book, we've tried to get people back to their roots because there is so much of medicine. Let me talk about turmeric, for example. I use curcumin, which is an extract of turmeric, for every single treatment.
Is it the normal turmeric you get in the market?
You could say it's normal, but this is an extract from that, which is still a yellow powder.
But is it available in the market, or is
it's available in the market? It's available all over India, and in fact, if you buy it anywhere in the world, you should know it comes from India. Okay. So you're probably paying something in a foreign currency for something that comes from your own country. Okay. And believe me, when I moved back to India to start treating cancer, I needed curcumin to treat my patients, and I couldn't find it. Until I got in touch with someone at Coimbatore, and he said there's no market for this. We send all our supply to the US. They're the largest consumers, so we stopped using our own medicine.
Do they pack it into capsules and send it back to us?
Exactly. They sell it all over Amazon and stuff like that. But we're changing that. We're getting people through the book. We're trying to get people back. Ginger.
And the goodness of this has always been known to us.
It exists
Every community in India has.
It exists in Ayurveda, a 5,000-year-old system of science. It's always existed. But the thing is, people have moved on. They moved into diverse cultures. They want fancy hospitals, fancy doctors.
Or maybe it doesn't taste good.
Yeah, but there are ways to have it. Our parents gave it to us in milk with honey. Some of them just mixed it with honey and gave it to us.
Made a curry out of it.
In San Francisco right now, they sell turmeric lassis. And it's a hot selling product. It's existed in India all our lives. All of us had turmeric in milk.
Yes.
And they charge $8 to $10 for like a glass of turmeric milk. It's nothing nothing more.
Turmeric is one that we need to get back to majorly. Right. Anything else?
Oh, there are loads of them. See, there's no one food wonder. Cancer is a multifactorial disease. So when you look at cancer and you look at treatments, you want to see what is depleting minerals from your body. So most cancer patients have deficiencies in vitamin D3, selenium, zinc. And my concept, I don't have a magic wand. I just believe that if I can repair the immune system, which is very complicated for everyone, the immune system is then empowered to take over the cancer. See, there's no doctor, nutritionist, healer in the world who's ever cured cancer. It is the immune system that helps you heal or cure from the disease. So you understand the immune system, you see what's broken it down in the first place, which is the root cause I'm talking about. So I think I really like to understand what the root cause is. Is it exposure to radiation? Is it emotional internalization and stress, which plays a massive role? Most women in India who have breast cancer, believe me, if the cause is not smoking or obesity, it comes down to emotional internalization. The more you suppress emotions, the lower your immunity is, and they contract these cancers over
The
time.
husband and wives are scrapping with each other all the time. So where's the question of internalizing anything?
So I advise everyone, express your emotions. Don't
Go
keep
fight.
it inside. Fight. Channel it the right way. But human beings were meant to express. We're all social animals.
Yeah.
The more you express, which is why we have a hormone called oxytocin. Some people call it the love hormone. Some people call it the sex hormone. Whatever. It's meant for you to express. But today with social media and social groups, everyone wants to keep it inside because they don't want to be judged. They don't want to be spoken about. They don't want to seem stupid or, weak by expressing emotions. And that's where most of the problems start. And that's not only one of it. It's multifactorial, like I said. Lack of activity.
Do children create the stress to give cancer to their mothers?
No, I don't think so.
No.
I think,
Husbands?
again, it's the outlook.
Husbands?
Since I have a wife, I'm going to say no, it's the wife. Since I'm not joking. It's everyone. Like I said, it's the way you take stress. You could have the most stressful relationship, but your attitude towards the relationship could be, your savior.
Okay.
Some people accept, some people let go. And those are the two key words, acceptance and letting go. Easy for me to say.
I know.
I've not mastered it. But if you master these two, letting go and acceptance, stress becomes, the most manageable.
There is no stress after that.
Exactly. So.
Okay, come back to Indian, food item or whatever you call this.
Yeah, so, onion, tomato, garlic, black
But
kalonji
it's
seeds.
banned in so many communities, so many religions don't even touch it. So is it that they missed the clues?
No, I don't think so. I think, the
some other
Jains
reason.
don't have certain things, but then they also have a diet which is strong in other vegetables and spices. But that's a good question. I've never really explored that community where they don't have garlic and stuff.
They seem to be healthy as hell.
Yeah, absolutely. So, there are other factors as well. And it's not just food. See, it's never about food. It's about how you eat it. Now, you could sit and have a whole bowl of salad. But if you have a sedentary lifestyle, all the nutrition from your salad never reaches your cells because you need blood circulation, which means you need physical activity or exercise.
Okay.
So now you see the correlation between exercise and nutrition. You have to eat well, but you got to get the nutrients to all those cells of your body, to your immunity.
All those guys waiting down there, deliver it to them.
Exactly. For that, you need circulation. Circulation is promoted by exercise.
These are things that we've known for generations. You need to exercise, you get up early in the morning, don't, drink half your life away. But we still don't seem to be able to accept. Is it that we're stupid or
no,
it's
it's
not?
Because today
hammered
simple doesn't work for people. If I write a prescription for someone who has, cancer, it could be as simple as a few food items and pranayama and meditation. Now, a patient looking at that will say, oh, no, it's too simple. It's not going to fix me.
Yeah.
They want to see some medicine written. They want to see a drug. It needs to be complicated. And that's the way it is today. When you simplify things, people get suspicious. And the human body is intelligent enough to, fix itself. But we've complicated it. We've compromised it. You get a fever, you pop a crocin. No one's really understood that the body's producing a fever to kill certain pathogens and viruses that cannot survive at that temperature. So now we take a crocin, bring down the fever. Guess what? We compromise the body's immune system.
Like that. So the fever itself has a purpose.
It has a purpose. So when you're going through a chemo cycle, you will get a fever because a low-grade fever, and the body's trying to protect you, kill certain viruses. But then the doctors will say, oh, the fever's come. Take some paracetamol, take some crocin. So you're further adding oxidative stress.
But then giving you medicines for that would be happening only when the fever is extremely high and shouldn't be that high.
No, it's even a low-grade fever. Today, a general physician will have people who come with a low-grade fever. But in the olden days, people would check temperature and see if it's above 100, 101, then it's a concern. Because again, the media has projected a low-grade fever can be the symptom to an X amount of other diseases. So there's fear.
Dengue, all these things.
There's fear in people. So people are not really, understanding that, okay, let me observe this for a while. There's so much of fear. So you react to fear and any motivation out of fear based on fear.
So this book that you wrote with Shilpa, how's it doing? Did you give it to all the bookstores? I don't even see bookstores anywhere. So that's another problem.
Yeah, it's all online, and whenever we travel, we're always happy to see it at some bookstore at the airport.
Who are your publishers?
Random House.
Okay, well-known group. So do you get nice phone calls from Random House saying, Luke, you just won yourself $1 million on royalties?
The book's doing really well. Shilpa and I were very clear when we wrote this book. We want a message to reach people.
Yeah. Well, I see the style in which you wrote it is also very messagey. It's not like just going to, demystify something. You're actually telling it, this is a real thing, just do this.
Yeah, we want people to understand that it's simple, getting back to your roots, and don't spend too much money on health. If you can find medicine as a spice, use it.
So, Luke, it's been wonderful talking to you.
Thank you.
And thank you for coming. We should take a few more subjects. I'm sure in the field that you are in, that is nutrition and health, there's zillions of things to talk about.
I'm sure.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you.